Well, hello, hi, hello to every single one of you. Um, yeah, hope you all are well. I'm here, gonna react to this video. I've definitely seen all of it. It's a pretty good video. Let's dive in.
Salutations! I went to this year's Halo World Championships to not only show off my Halo Reach Evolved mod, which was an amazing opportunity given to me by the Jumperscape crew, but to also witness the big reveal Halo Studios had planned for the convention. Halo Campaign Evolved premiered to the world, and I got to see that happen live, which was surreal. On the very same day Campaign Evolved was announced, the attendees were allowed to play the demo for the Silent Cartographer. I have to give Halo Studios credit. The fact the opportunity presented itself this way was a bold move, and I respect the developers for their generosity in gathering feedback and data this early on. I'll be going over my opinions and the data I was able to collect for this game. I was not sponsored, nor brought out to Seattle by Halo Studios, and had to play the demo the same way as everyone else. I did not have access to video capture software, and I apologize for the lack of consistency with the camera angles. The tables were pretty short, and it took me a while to figure out the best setup. Each session was 15 minutes long, and the demo ended with a shafted cutscene. I played it about 7 times, and all 4 difficulties were available to try. While I gathered data, I couldn't get everything I wanted due to limited time, and my memory being as good as a goldfish's. If I don't say something specific in the video, ask me anything in the comments and I'll answer to the best of my ability. I don't want to waste any more time. I got a lot to go over, so let's get started.
Alright, very nice. Let's do this.
If I were him, I'd bundle my home and auto and pick up the real victory. Savings.
Oh. Okay.
As rumors have speculated, Campaign Evolved uses a fork of Halo Reach's engine as the gameplay component, with Unreal Engine 5 handling the graphics. The moment I started playing the demo, I immediately detected the Reach in here. Let's talk about everything I found regarding this. First off, the characters. Every biped in the demo uses their Halo Reach animations, from Marines to Elites to Hunters. The Marines still do that slow turn thing, the Elites have their fast melee attacks, Jackals flinch the same way they do in Reach, it's all there. I tried assassinating enemies, but that didn't work. Elites can board your Warthog, and once you eject, your movement slows down, exactly the way it does in Halo 3 and Reach. The Hunter's back armor can be destroyed, further exposing their weak spot. Weapon trading is in the build. While that was introduced in Halo 2, the way Marines fire rocket launchers is 1-for-1 with Reach, with their rockets tracking enemy infantry, while yours can't.
Yeah, I remember seeing a video, like, proving that Halo Reach had the, like, pretty much exact same thing as Campaign Evolved, which was good to see, and fun to see at least. Very nice, of course.
Pelicans and Spirit dropships no longer use recorded animations. In Halo 1, mission designers would record themselves flying dropships in the scenario editor, and the playbacks are used as animations for dropship scenes. Halo 2 changed this. NPCs fly the dropships now, scripted to fly through specific markers on the map, and Halo Reach uses this feature. This makes the dropships noticeably more stiff in the air compared to the player-controlled Pelicans from Halo 1. Moving on, there were no overshields at all, and player health recharges instead of relying on health packs. I have a hunch regarding why overshields and health packs were not in this build. Halo Reach only supports traditional overshields in multiplayer, being limited to the game type power-ups. Meanwhile, health packs are present in Reach's campaign, but they require a button press to activate. It seems like they need time to implement proper versions of these pickups. Another Reach quirk involves active camo. The stealth elites have shields. In Halo 1, these elites were not shielded.
Excuse me one moment.
Halo
Yeah, no, I have a definite, I have a problem with no health packer shields too. Now that you bring that up, that's, yeah, no, it doesn't feel like the original then at all. Of course I wasn't there to play it, but like, that's not pretty good. Yeah, no, I agree there. Very true.
Require a button press to activate. It seems like they need time to implement proper versions of these pickups. Another Reach
Freaking true.
quirk involves active camo. The stealth elites have shields. In Halo 1, these elites were not shielded. In Reach, you cannot have unshielded enemies use camo, because camo strength is tied to energy shields. When the shield depletes, so does active camo, and it won't reactivate until the shield recharges. I'd like Halo Studios to re-implement unshielded camo enemies. It would make the stealth elite encounter not as arduous, since you currently can't one-shot headshot them like in Halo 1.
Yeah. That's another thing. You know, if they want to make it like the original, then, I mean, you gotta get it pretty close, I imagine.
Another Reach mechanic is using crouch to reduce bloom for the first shot. I should have aimed at a darker surface, so I apologize if this is hard to see, so just take my word for it. I promise this is in the demo. This was most evident on the assault rifle, but I think it was also on the pistol and plasma rifle, but very barely. It was hard to tell. These next few are not Reach
Yeah, no, I don't think Bloom
specific.
should return. That was... Yeah, I don't know. Again, if we're gonna get it really close and all that, maybe I have a bit of bias that, you know, Bloom is only okay, but yeah. If anything, I don't know, make it reduced, I suppose.
But vehicle EMP is present, and warthogs can be destroyed. I didn't get to test it, but I'm certain the vehicle health system is the same as Reach's, with its health bar completely separate from the driver. If the vehicle's HP reaches 0, it doesn't matter if the driver is healthy, the vehicle will blow up. I'm curious to see how this affects the Warthog run. Everyone's favorite feature...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be invincible or something, but yeah, I do enjoy the destructible vehicles, though. That's something that, I mean, should be in all the rest of the Halo games instead of just you running around and, you know, in an indestructible vehicle and you'd only have to kill the player for that. Although I would say it is very fun for just indestructible vehicles and whatnot. That's quite good. I love that a lot.
Sprint is also in this game. Halo Studios announced it would have a toggle, but it was not present in the demo. Sprint is definitely faster than Halo Infinite's, but it's not as slippery as Reach and 4's. I will say, now that Warthogs are destructible, Sprint can be helpful to get from point A to B faster if your Warthog got destroyed, or is about to die. While tapping the trigger...
Yeah, that is a fair point, though. I was going to be against it until you said that, but yeah, I like how the sprint's at least different, I suppose. Maybe it will ruin the pace, but I don't really know, I guess. Again, I never played it, but seems like an interesting thing enough, I guess.
Trigger for automatic weapons, 2 bullets fire instead of 1, unless you're barely registering an input. This was not present in Halo 1, but appeared in Halo 2. It was not fixed until Halo 5. It being present in Campaign Evolved only further proves this is a modified Reach engine.
Hey. Very interesting. Very good. Yeah. That is very interesting. That's pretty evident then, because you're proving it also even more than what the guy said, what some other guy said, but yeah. I'll have to edit the description and put in the videos that I'm talking about, but yeah. Good job on the 21:9 stuff before like a really big part. Good job.
There were 8 total weapons in the demo. The assault rifle, pistol, plasma rifle, needler, rocket launcher, and both frag and plasma grenades. The Warthog was the only usable vehicle, while the Pelican and Spirit dropships were flown by NPCs. This section will not go into the visual or sound design of each. That'll come later. For now, I just want to discuss the gameplay. Let's start with the assault rifle. Each magazine holds 32 rounds, with 128 spare at the start, and can hold up to 288 rounds maximum. It behaves a lot like Reach's assault rifle. It uses Reach's bloom mechanics, with crouching reducing the initial bloom value. Also like Reach's assault rifle, it seems to fire at 10 rounds per second, and does comparably low damage per shot. Out of all the weapons in this build, the assault rifle unfortunately disappointed me the most. It was the weakest weapon on offer compared to the other weapons. I have a hunch the SMG is planned to be in Campaign Evolved as a replacement for the original MA5B rifle, and if that's the case, I have to respectfully disagree with this direction. The original...
Yeah, I'd say that too. Yeah, that's disappointing. Yeah, and again, if you really want to, bring the audience in and, get a new generation to play Halo, then I mean, you would have to get it, as I said before, very close to the original. Removing the assault rifle would honestly not do the game well, I don't think. Maybe for the new folk, but I mean, it just, I don't think it would do too well, because all the original fans wouldn't approve, I imagine. So
assault rifle is as iconic to Combat Evolved as the M6D pistol is. So much so that it's on the original box art. The MA5B is one of my favorite Halo weapons of all time, and to see it not be included here is a massive disappointment.
Yeah.
The original is a 10 damage per shot, 60 round per mag monster, firing at 15 rounds per second. It performs its namesake, being one of the best weapons for an assault charge. Its wide firing spread seems like a detriment, but it lets it shred grunt squads with ease up close.
Yes.
Its bullets pierce through enemies, damaging multiple via collaterals. The Campaign Evolved assault rifle simply does not compare.
Oh, and the 32 rounds also. Ugh, no. No, I'm disappointed in that as well.
It's deep.
That just that sucks really bad. Like, I'm glad that it kind of got devolved and whatever, and we have what we have now, but I mean, again, make it pretty close to the original, so then, all the kids know what was hip with that game. The interpretation of the story, honestly, wasn't a bad idea, though. I like how they're at least somewhat changing it,
Collaterals.
It's a good addition, I suppose.
The Campaign Evolved assault rifle simply does not compare. Its DPS is low, it's nowhere near as good at cleaning grunt squads, and the game doesn't start you with enough ammo. With all that being said, I also understand that a 32 round AR with an emphasis on precision burst firing was likely chosen for newcomer expectations. The original assault rifle behaved more like a hard-hitting SMG than your typical FPS rifle, and I could see newer fans being deterred from such a weapon. However, Halo Studios can still include the MA5B while meeting those accuracy expectations. Simply have
That is very true, yeah. Hard agree there.
the initial accuracy be a lot higher than the original, but become much less accurate with sustained fire. This will incentivize burst firing from a distance, while being the close-range monster it always was.
Yeah.
I can assure you this will make both crowds happy, the veterans and the newcomers to the series. The next weapon is the icon.
But yeah, no, that's a... Yeah, I definitely agree there. It's a good exchange, I suppose, to make both crowds happy.
Iconic M6D pistol. It holds 12 rounds per magazine, starts with 72 spare rounds, and 84 max. Holding the trigger fires the pistol automatically, and I'm certain it still deals 25 damage per shot. While the assault rifle was very weak, the pistol was the opposite, bordering on overtuned. I've always defended the Halo 1 pistol in the past, saying it is not overpowered, contrary to what most people think, especially in a campaign sense. In Campaign Evolved,
Yeah, I've also seen that video as well. Good job, Vadam.
however, it takes after the Halo 5 version of this weapon, with a more generous red reticle radius allowing for higher bullet magnetism. The elites are also much less resilient in this game. These are the amount of pistol.
Easy to normal, 4 versus minor, 6 versus major. Heroic is 5 versus minor, 6 to the major, and then 5 for the minor, and then 7 versus the major.
Pistol shots it takes to break an elite shield on each difficulty.
Halo
These are the magnetism.
Oh, wait.
The elites are also much less resilient in this game.
Oops.
These are the amount of pistol shots it takes to break an elite shield on each difficulty. Bleed through was not enabled for the pistol, which meant one more shot was needed to kill via headshot. Compare this to Halo 1. This is due.
Oh, dear. Well, okay. 6 versus the minor, 8 versus the major, 7 versus the minor, and then 10 versus the major, 8 versus the minor, and then 11 versus the major. Sheesh.
Due to a 20% damage penalty versus elite shields, and possibly greater shield strength compared to the demo. This, combined with much weaker bullet magnetism, prevented the pistol from being overpowered in Halo 1. It does not help that in Campaign Evolved, you start with considerably more magazines than the assault rifle, rendering the rifle worthless when you can just melt everything with a pistol. I'd say make the elite shields resist pistol bullets again, and lessen the magnetism. I'd also decrease projectile velocity to force shot leading from a distance.
Yep, just like the original. Also, very decent take. Very good. I remember that the pistol from your video was like, not as good as the people say it is. And yeah, no, that reigns very true here. And as I say again, don't make it so close to, another version, but keep it incredibly close, I would say. But yeah, it's still a good idea.
If the needle rifle and battle rifle are to be in this game, the pistol should not completely usurp them. Those two need roles in the sandbox as well. What I would not do is lower the base damage. I think where it's at is perfectly fine. It's just everything else surrounding the pistol, from magnetism to weaker enemies, is what's breaking it right now. Another indirect pistol.
Yeah. I like that take too. That's pretty good.
Change is the hunter's weak spot no longer being susceptible to headshots. I think that's a great change, combined with the hunters being based on the reach ones, which I believe are the best in the series. However, from what I found, the rocket launcher, needler, and plasma grenades are the current best options for hunters, and resources for all three only appear so often. I feel if the pistol does not one-shot hunters anymore, it should at least deal bonus damage anyway. On Legendary in the demo, it requires around 2 whole magazines to kill a single hunter, where I think it should be less than that. I'll talk about the grenades next.
I'd like to know your take about that, because, well, I don't know, if it's perchance a, like, kind of a callback to it, then whatever, but I don't get it right now, I guess. I don't understand where you're coming from. So, I'm willing to hear you out. Yeah. Very interesting anyways. And
where I think it should be less than that. I'll talk about the grenades next. The plasma grenade is one of the best options for hunters in Campaign Evolved. 2 of them kill a hunter on normal, 3 on heroic, and 4 on legendary. Unless it was their arm shields, it didn't matter where you stuck them. They seemed to deal full damage to hunters. Meanwhile, the frags are no longer the nuclear bombs they were in CE, now just a standard Halo frag grenade. Like those from Halo 2 and onwards, they can airburst after bouncing once, and deal moderate explosive damage. I don't know how I feel about the frags being like this. This puts it in line with the rest of the frags in the series, and makes it more unique from the plasma grenade, which cannot airburst. However, the fact they were hand nukes in Halo 1 were what made them so fun to use. I think I'll get over it though. I don't hate the current iteration. We do get 4 of each, so it's not like we're lacking in explosive firepower. Next is the rocket launcher.
Right. Honestly, that is pretty true. Yeah, at least the grenade count is, the same as the other time, as the original, but yeah, no, I could see that, and frankly, I agree. Um, yeah, that is a pretty decent take.
Launcher. 2 rockets per reload cycle,
That's my humble opinion.
6 in reserve, and it can target track vehicles. It works like Reach's, where it'll automatically lock on when red reticle is achieved. In this case, the Spirit dropship's turret was all that could be locked onto in the demo, and that also confirms these turrets are destructible, unlike in CE. It remains to be seen if they'll strictly lock onto air vehicles like in Reach, or if they'll expand to ground vehicles too. Kinda hoping for the latter. I like the homing rockets.
Yeah, me too. It'll be a good addition, and you know, like, not every new addition will be inherently bad, but I mean, yeah, no, like the rocket launcher there, that was the uh the fact that you could use homing rockets, like that is pretty good. I like that addition a lot.
Now that we can trade weapons with allies, that means rocket marines on the side of your Warthog are possible in this game.
Yeah.
I'm glad our allies can finally accomplish something meaningful like this. It's an excellent quality of life feature. To begin the Covenant handheld weapons, we have the Needler. Like the assault rifle, this is a much different version from Combat Evolved. It holds 24 needles per magazine, with only 72 maximum in reserve. 7 needles are required for a super combine, and unlike in Halo 1,
One moment here. I unfortunately will have to end the reaction here. I gotta go do something productive, but yeah, it's one half of it. I will return with the other half.